start? Well, welcome to the Medieval Daoyin Study Group session. And we started with the qi disorder, I believe. And we started with like chapter 38 that talked about symptoms of rising qi. We also read through chapter 39 about sudden rising qi. And yeah, there were some really interesting exercises there. And and today we're going to look at the knotted chi. So that is chapter 40, and that is on page 237. So I'm just going to start reading. Knotted chi disorder is produced by worry and too much thinking. When the heart is preoccupied and the shen, spirit, has been seized, qi is stagnant and unmoving and becomes knotted inside. And that's it. That's the end of the description of the disease. It doesn't really gives you like pulse, diagnosis or anything. Then immediately it says the orthodox prescriptions for decoctions, hot packs, needles, and stones are given elsewhere. The Yangshen supplementations and Daoyin instructions are now attached below. Okay, so that's I think it's quite straightforward. Anybody want to make any comments?
Oh.
The shen has been seized.
Yes, I do wonder what that actually means.
Yeah, some sort of like almost like being possessed. Well, not as strong as that, but somehow you're very, like the heart's being preoccupied. You're sort of, worries a lot, thinking about this, just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't let go, and so there's a stagnant chi.
So I'm trying to think what it is. It's ruminating or
Yeah,
worrying or
rumination.
something like. I'm trying to sort of, what is it?
Mm.
Because one of the earlier translations was overthinking.
Okay, overthinking
You
is the
know,
si maybe.
um,
Hmm. The yo has got this kind of like worrying, like
yeah,
very
yeah,
quite sad. Yo, like yo lu
yeah.
will be yeah, sorrow.
But
So
I think sort of preoccupied is quite a good
yeah,
kind of,
preoccupied. And yeah, you got yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Kind of circular thinking, just going
mm, mm,
round and
mm.
round and round.
That's right. So this is not like so the cause of this illness is not external, is more internal, is your
Yeah,
own
yeah,
sort of um emotions and thinkings and yeah,
yeah.
feelings. Mm. Okay, so the Yangshen recipe says crying brings sadness. Do not eat immediately after crying, otherwise, after a long period, there will be a qi disorder. So, well, not that we cry a lot, but yeah, but it tells you that if you cry, then don't eat straight away. And crying brings sadness. That's kind of yeah, or sadness brings sort of like the other way around as well.
Hmm.
Um, okay, yeah, something about the chi disorder. So again, this is an emotional issue. The
Hmm.
problems from from the internal um, disharmony rather than external.
I
Okay,
think both of them are quite chronic, aren't they?
both. Do you
Yes.
mean?
The crying and the preoccupation.
Yeah, I suppose because 久成气病 means like after a long time. So yeah,
Yeah,
if that's if that's what normally happened to you, and you're this kind of type of person, always worry a lot,
yeah.
and you're always being very preoccupied, and yeah, then there's a chi being knotted inside,
Hmm.
and you're not yeah not letting it go. So that's an interesting one, isn't it? It's almost it's not really any kind of sort of physical dysfunction although it does create qi disorder. Then let's have a look at the Daoyin exercise. The Yangshen recipes, the Daoyin methods says, sit, lengthen your lumbus, and raise your left arm with the palm facing up. Bring your right arm behind you, your hand pressing down. Inhale qi through your nose. Do this as much as you can for 7 breaths. So I think you just hold that qi, inhale that qi to its limit, and then you then take 7 breaths. And then but then in between breaths, you press down your right hands. So your right hand at the moment is pressing against your back, I imagine. But then it then tells you to almost like relax it and just shake it a little bit. That's my understanding. And then you do that again. And then you take the breath again. Does that make sense?
Mm,
I mean, it feels like you could just do this 7 breaths without the hands, because at the moment my hands are here.
yeah.
Do we need to like shake it or something and then do it again and then shake it? Is that what it's asking?
Yeah.
It feels slightly unnecessary, but then it does say it between the breaths a
Yeah.
little bit. Shao dun. Dun is like, just sort of shake, isn't it? Dun. Shake the right hand.
Yeah.
So maybe you just a little bit you shake, or maybe there's something about the right. So maybe like you need to really bend your right arm so then it's covered, so you're not seeing your. If people are looking at you from the front, they're not being able to see it because it's like chu, as in you almost like cover it, and
Mm,
then the right hands is on fu, as in cover the right hands
Yeah, fu, the meaning of fu is to cover.
to cover, isn't it?
Cover.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cover.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So then but the chu or che you bi, so the right arm
Will be,
somehow is going round, going back. So then it's almost like is going behind,
mm,
and the right hands is cover. So I wonder whether that causes tension, and therefore when you are holding your hands, the left hand stretch up, palm facing up, and therefore there is this kind of tension between the two hands. Your right arm is pushing further back towards your back, and then your left arm is stretching up, and therefore in between the breath, you maybe your right hands need to shake and then go back again. It might be that.
Well, 154 is the third of the 8 brocades, isn't it? Give or take.
What do you mean 154?
Image
Oh,
154.
image
Yeah,
154.
unless
The
I'm.
abrocades is well, not quite, because the abrocade is more like you bring it arms down, the other one
Well, I
goes
think
up.
yeah, but the static position would be
Static position, it
yeah,
is true.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
okay, but this one you
Then
you are quite static because you are going to
oh,
hold, take 7 breaths in this position. So do this as much as, okay, so let's just finish. Press down your right hand. This gets rid of pains in both arms and in the back and knotted chi. Okay.
We did see this earlier, and I think the wind section
Mhm.
and the hand at the back did shake, but I'm pretty sure the instruction actually said that. and I don't think like we're
Yeah,
getting the same amount of movement, but the rest of it is very, very similar.
the rest,
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So
I mean,
I do think that the hand at the back probably, I mean, I would probably move mine because it's gonna get tired of hanging out there.
yeah, right.
Um,
So, okay.
but yeah, it's
It does
interesting
tell
and
you
similar.
to between breaths, you somehow
Now this
kind
gets
of
the pains.
let go of your right hands and you press it down, you shake your right hands. My translation just press down your right hands. Press down. Yeah, is it not very clear what's going on there with the English. The Chinese is actually a little bit clearer. It's like for a while, 烧顿. Dun is like you just sort of shake your right hand.
Does that mean vibrate your right hand?
Yeah, yeah, a bit like that. Yeah.
So you put
But
it in that position and vibrate it.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Is
Yes. Yeah, okay. I think so. That sounds good. Yeah, so then you don't actually move then. You don't let go of your right arm of that position, you mean.
yeah.
So you just sort of pressing it further down or further into your back.
Yeah.
Then okay. I think that so in between the breath, yeah? Okay. We could look at the next one because the next one is almost identical. So, and it's just the other hands really. So the next one, it says, sit upright, lengthen your lumbers, raise your left arm with palm facing up while supporting your right side with your right hand. Is that exactly the same side? It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. Okay. While supporting your right side with your right hand, inhale chi through your nose as much as you can. Do the 7 breaths. This gets rid of the knotted chi. So you can see that, you know, because the exercise both suggesting curing knotted chi, and that's why the compilers of this text just bring those exercise together. But actually, this one is almost, it's just, to me, it's the same. I mean, slightly different wording
Uh-huh.
without the emphasis of like between the breath, you somehow, pressing in your right hands or press down your right hands. It didn't have that. Apart from that, everything else seems to, is the actual exercise is the same.
Hmm.
So, okay, so basically, um, let's try to practice, shall we? Yeah, and then trying to see that, trying to do it 7 breath and then see if there's make any sort of difference. Oh, lifting left and so Jesse is saying something. Lifting left and descending right is a natural movement of chi. Lifting left and descending right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so basically it did not ask you to raise the right arm and then it's only this side. So let's practice for a few minutes. You see how we feel. I think I would prefer moving the right hands down, so then sort of physically shake a little bit, and then bring the hand back, and then but the left arm continue to raise, and because then that kind of encouraging this chi going up with your left arm, and then you sort of trying to bring the chi down with your right hands, isn't it? So the right hands, if I shake, is feels more effective than just sort of pressing it in, trying to encourage the chi go down, but while still attached to my back. How did you find, Pascal?
I didn't try it that way, but I change also the position of my hand on the back.
Okay.
I
Okay,
try
so like that, yeah.
like
Oh,
that.
like that.
But I prefer like that.
Okay,
But
yeah.
that's I think I think maybe you're right that I didn't feel really the movement of something going up and down. So maybe
Mhm.
you're
Maybe shaking
about
shaking will create the
shaking.
movement, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because it does feels somehow this knotted chi need to go need to
Yes.
be
Yes,
untied
needs to
and
Yeah.
circulate.
untangle. So I think the hand on the back adds a layer of circulating between the exterior and the interior connection, connecting the circulation to spleen, yeah, spleen and kidney. Right, yeah. So So it is, I think it is interesting with this because this next one doesn't ask you to do that. It would just be
Yes.
holding, you're just holding it constantly, and then you just take 7 breaths. Whereas
Mm.
whereas this one seems a bit more dynamic. And I think is this again, it's almost this kind of polarized forces. One is going up, the other one is coming down. Hopefully that's untying, untie the chi. That's my, my interpretation anyway. Okay, so let's have a look at the next one then. Again, it says that's on page 239. With your hands behind you, hold your elbows and lean back so that your elbows are against the mat. Okay, so it doesn't tell you what sort of position, but then if your elbow is going to sort of sort of stand against the mat, you're probably going to lean back and you're almost like starting with a sitting position, and then you bring your hands behind you and you're trying to lean back, and then your elbows will then be able to lean back as well. And so force your belly, so when you're in that position, your belly is kind of already facing up towards the ceiling. So you force your belly up as much as possible. Wait until there is a strong feeling of compression before beginning to bring it down. Oh, so you just, sort of pushing your belly up, and then you wait, feel this strong compression, and then you bring it down again. Do this backwards, and so going, up and down, 5 times, 7 times. Well, that's many times. That's a lot. This gets rid of pain in the body, back and spine, tightness and stiffness in your joints, and stale chi in the belly and guts. And then it says, do not practice this after big meal. Yeah, that makes sense. Nor while wearing a belt. Yeah, then that's obviously it's not it's not going to work. So yeah. Okay, this one is interesting though, because I thought it doesn't really address the knotted chi. This actually addresses many, many things, but not really the knotted chi. The knotted chi seems to me is more specific about, sort of emotional, you know, dis disharmony. So this is like, the pain in the body, back, spine, tightness and in your joints. So that's all very physical, it seems to me. But anyway, I don't know why this particular exercise is being placed here, but we can try it. We can try it and see how we can do it. I haven't really physically do it. So I don't know. I don't know even if
By a
it works.
strong feeling of compression.
Yeah, it's just then, when you imagine you're pressing your belly up, you're going to feel so uncomfortable and very tight, isn't it? And
Okay.
then you're going to feel this strong compression and then you're going to bring it down again. But you're
Okay.
trying to wait until this 大闷, this big compression, and then you then bring your belly down and then you then push it up again
Then
and
back
bring it
to
down. So you just keep
pushing.
doing that while your elbows is used as like columns to support your body in a way. So at this point, I'm not sure where you place your hands. Could be just behind like that?
Yeah.
And then you just try. I mean, how do you get to the lying down position? I have no idea, but we can have a go and see. How do you safely bring yourself down? Or do you actually lie down first?
Well, I should imagine you're sitting on the floor.
You're sitting in the Japanese sitting position,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
And then
Then you just
you're
lean
trying
back
to lean
onto your
back.
elbows.
Yeah,
And
I
then
would
you
say that's
use your elbows to push yourself up.
yeah. This is almost the translation is kind of gives you that kind of impression, isn't it? With the hands behind you,
Yeah.
um, hold your elbows and leaned back so that your elbows are against the mat.
Hmm.
Um, how do you hold? So are you holding the elbows, like actually holding your elbows? I mean, I can't actually be able to hold my elbows.
That's a
You know what I mean?
I don't think from what it said, like in the English position,
Yeah.
I think it's just like your elbows, hold your elbows against the mat. Like don't, as you come
It's
up,
your
right?
elbows
Okay.
that is
Lift up.
against them,
Yeah.
or
And not
rather
even
than
maybe it's like the entire kind of forearm
Your
between
hands
your
behind
your
you.
wrist and your elbow. You're
right.
like you're leaning on those, right? Behind
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
You mean like
Uh,
that?
something like that.
Yeah. Sort of
Yeah.
I
Okay.
haven't
like
I
Okay.
that.
haven't pretzeled there yet, but we'll give it a shot.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Should we go give it a shot and then see
Okay.
what happens? Because I got a feeling it's like this.
Yeah, I think from the Chinese text is like that, no?
Yeah. It's from the Chinese
两手
text.
it's
两手
托肘
握肘头 is the head of the
Yeah,
elbow.
I
So
think
then you kind of, but then that's already I can't
yeah,
read, so
yeah.
I don't know how you do that.
Me too.
So,
Well, we'll
but
try
then
both.
try both, yeah, and
Yeah.
then column against the mat.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Okay.
try it. Let's try it and see
Yeah.
whether we can actually manage it or not.
Right.
Hold on, my legs. So it's not in a sitting position first, is it? You should kind of sit with your feet out. Okay. Very hard. The only way I can do it is yeah, just the elbows against the mat. Um and trying to lift the belly up. The feet kind of have to be out. So very similar to the drawing actually. But instead of the hands at the back, next to the back, is I've just put them on the side, just make it a bit simpler, a bit easier. But there's a lot of weight on the elbows, isn't it? I think that's a difficult part. It's like all your weight is carried by your elbows, and so
Yeah.
that creates a lot of tensions, and also your neck. I don't know how you find your head. Your head is very, very tense. Well, my head is being suspended in the air like that. It feels quite uncomfortable. And I try to lie down, but then if I lie down, it wouldn't work because then the elbow can't really sort of lean against the mat. Um, so in a way that the head is suspended in the air. And again, that means your elbows is holding your weight, your head is kind of like lean back. It's quite uncomfortable, really, isn't it? I mean, how do you find anybody?
Well, I found it was very hard on my shoulders.
Hard on your shoulder,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Mm, I've tried it another way, but
Okay.
it's really not really. I tried to hold my elbow
Yeah.
and
Oh dear. All right. So,
Oh, okay.
okay. Well, that's a different way of doing it.
yeah, but the problem is when I go back,
Yeah.
not really stay like that. No, actually now I can, but before, yeah,
I can't see being able to do that sort of on your elbows. I think that would be putting too much strain on them, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the yeah.
Hang on.
Are we able to raise? Oh, yeah. Let me practice Pascal's way as well. I wonder whether we can then raise the elbows. Probably not, eh?
Yeah.
Well, this is certainly a lot more manageable because you're almost lying down, isn't it? You're
yes,
lying down, so your head is resting,
yes,
and it is possible to put your hands like that, and then you kind of press it back, so then you're almost against the mat. Then, when you're pushing your belly up, your
mhm,
elbows is going like that. So
yes.
so that yeah.
But the problem, and when you go down, I think it's not very comfortable. So sometimes it's better to go out and then to come back
Oh,
after.
right. Yeah, come
It's
back to fold it
yeah,
again.
but
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure, I think, on the shoulder,
shoulders.
and then I think all the muscle there are very
Yeah.
yeah. It's like
Hmm.
when you finish, no?
Should we try again? I think because I think your interpretation, I like your interpretation a lot, Pascal. And I think that probably is more closer to the Chinese as well. So
Mhm,
let's try it, and then let's try to think how that this get rid of pain in the body,
mhm,
back and spine, tightness and stiffness in the joints, and stale chi in the belly and guts.
mhm.
Um, so let's try it. So we are kind of folding the hands together, so trying to reach the elbows, but possibly not quite there, but as much as you can. Then you lie down. Then you're trying to lift the belly up. At this point, I think the elbows almost being stood up. And then you can wait for this great compression. Then I think that's possible, isn't it? Because my head is resting, so I don't feel a lot of tension. And then when you come down, you kind of relax everything. It's still quite demanding.
Yeah.
But it's at least I think it's manageable. And it does feel that it fits well with the Chinese because you can then wait for this great compression to begin, and then you can then lower your belly, and then you go back and forth. Except you do in this text, it asks you to do it 35 times. I think that's too much. I think 7 is already a maximum.
But
But it does feel that it's quite a strong exercise, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite demanding. So yeah, that's good. Maybe we need to change the illustration so the head is not sort of just in suspension. That I think that's why it didn't feel right, because then it really caused so much tension with the neck, the head, and shoulders, and everywhere. Everywhere is painful.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so let's move on to the next chapter. So we got the symptoms of reversed qi. So this is chapter 41. And let's try to read it. I think there's just got one exercise. So let's have a look. Anger causes qi to reverse. So that's very similar to the one we just read, which is more like overthinking, very preoccupied. This is like, you people who get very angry, and resulting in reverse qi in extreme circumstances with vomiting of blood and food. Qi rises in reverser. There's actually another translation which is slightly different, and that is with vomiting of blood, full stop, and then after eating, the qi rises in reversal. That's also a possibility, because if you look at the Chinese, is the comma after the blood, so that means vomiting the blood, and then 及时而气逆上. So then if you bring the food to the second part, then that means then after you eat, the qi goes up in reversal. So that might be more accurate translation than as it stands. You're not necessarily vomiting blood and food as well, unless the comma is after the food. So then 甚则呕血及时, that means blood and food, comma, and then the qi. But yeah, I think I quite like the punctuation in here. So I think it's just the vomiting of blood rather than vomiting of blood and food. So the food goes to the second part of the sentence. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when people suffer from reversed qi, they are unable to lie down, and their breathing is noisy. So they have this kind of wheezing noise. Some of them carry on with their lives as normal as before, except they got this kind of wheezing noise when they breathe. Some are able to lie down, but they get out of breath while walking. Others can neither walk nor lie down. That sounds serious to me, and are also short of breath, or maybe when they're walking or when they're lying down, they are short of breath. That could be that, actually. So some cannot lie down or get out of breath if they do. Okay. All these have different causes. Okay. So those with noisy breathing, so with sort of wheezing, they are unable to lie down, who are unable to lie down, have a reverse condition in their yang ming channel. The 3-foot yang channels are supposed to be moving downwards, but with reversal, qi moves up. So instead of going down, it goes up. Hence, breathing becomes noisy because the qi goes up.
Yeah.
So the yang ming is the channel of the stomach. So it's the stomach channel, which is the C of the 6th fall. Its qi moves downwards. If the yang ming qi is in reversal, it cannot follow its path, which prevents the person from lying down. Therefore, if the stomach is not in harmony, there will be restlessness while lying down. Okay, yeah. That reminds me, so the acid reflux or something like that, or you're eating too much just before you go to bed, or that sort of thing. Okay, so those who are able to carry on with their lives as before, but have noisy breathing, have a reversal condition in the network vessels of their lungs. The qi in the network vessels cannot flow up or down into the channel, but stays in the channel, unable to move. So sort of stagnant, isn't it? So just sort of stay there, doesn't go up or down. So those with this kind of disorder in their network vessels can carry on with their lives as before. So again, very normal, nothing wrong with them, except for having noisy breathing. So that, that's the only kind of symptoms that they may have, but still is not like all that obvious, maybe. Those who are unable to lie down or who get out of breath lying down have water qi lodged in their lungs. So water qi is some kind of retained fluids it lodged in the lungs. Water flows with the body fluids. The kidney is the water organ and governs the body fluids. The body fluids govern the condition of being out of breath while lying down. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. So
basically the kidney yang is
okay.
responsible for steaming fluids upwards.
Okay.
But the lungs being at the top of the body, if you think of their position,
Yeah.
they logically are downward directional.
Right.
And the lungs are metal, the large intestine, the yang ming is metal.
Yeah.
Whenever you treat constipation, well, I do personally, I always go for the lungs to get that to happen.
Okay.
So the kidneys do that, the lungs do that, and
Okay.
that circulates fluids. So what you're having here is the fluids are coming up. And
Yes.
they're getting congested in the lungs because
Right.
the lungs are unable to disseminate.
Push it. Yeah.
Push down and out.
Okay. So what about this sort of out of breath, lying down thing?
Well, I should imagine that would be choking on the upward chi.
Oh, it's too much going up, so you kind of can't breathe.
Here because the great thing about being vertical is that things naturally will
go down.
Kind of go down.
Yeah. Right.
I don't think it always has to be quite like a choking sensation either. And Jesse pointed out that it sounds also much like COPD, which is a chronic lung condition, right?
COPD
and it's a collection of 4 different types of illness, all of which have a cornerstone of shortness of breath or a sensation of breathlessness, even when laying down. There's also cardiac conditions that can, in a Western model that will potentially cause that type of sensation. But yeah, I mean, that the fluid collecting in the upper jaw is certainly consistent with these types of cardiac and respiratory illnesses that we know now to say that they're not circulating the fluid properly.
Yeah.
We might describe different organs involved, but overall, it's a fluid problem where you have an obstruction of sorts that isn't allowing the free flow, and then it just gets jammed up, just like Michael was saying too.
Yeah. With the stomach, it could be stomach yin deficiency, food stagnation, or even weak spleen qi.
Right.
Because the stomach gets its qi from the spleen, and if the spleen is weak, then the stomach does not have the impetus to go down.
Right.
And Sod's law is if it's supposed to go down and it can't go down, it will naturally go back
Goes
up.
up. Yeah.
But in any event, it would just the upward pressure would obstruct the downward movement of the lung.
Great. Let's read the next paragraph. If when diagnosing the pulse, the Fu-yang pulse is too strong, it indicates reversed qi and constant back pain. If the pulse at the twin opening is concealed, there will be reversed qi in the chest. If the pulse on the guan is thin, there will be reversed qi with a painful and bloated stomach. So the Fu-yang pulse, that is not on the hand, is it?
It's on the foot, no?
It's on the foot, yeah.
I'm not sure about that. It's just my
yeah, you're right, because the radical is the zu, is the foot radical. So is this like a acupuncture point?
Well, stomach 42 is a
is it
point, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there's the kidney pulse sort of somewhere around kidney 3. You have to sort of wiggle around a bit to find it.
Yeah.
And if you're me, you can't always find it. And that's a prenatal. But the stomach 42,
yeah,
on the top of the foot,
on top of the foot.
That's what they
that
mean.
is the one.
Yang pulse.
Yeah, I checked it. It says it is stomach 42 and is on top of the foot.
Yeah.
And that is that pulse, the Fu-yang pulse. So it is interesting, isn't it? That's also another place where the physician could diagnose the pulse. And then there is reverse qi and constant pain, and the pulse at the cun is concealed. There will be reverse qi in the chest, and then you got the guan on the guan point. Then there's a painful and bloated stomach.
Yeah.
Okay, so kind of makes sense to me. The orthodox prescriptions for decoctions, hot packs, needles, and stones are given elsewhere. The Yangshen supplementations and Daoyin instructions are now attached below. Okay, so let's look at the Daoyin exercise. This one, actually, I think we have seen it. The Yangshen recipes, the Daoyin method said, lying on your back, 燕卧. And then you're going to use your left foot heel, your left heel, to restrict your right foot thumb, your right toe. So, okay, so like that, I think, like what the figure 157 shows, you kind of use your left heel to press it onto your right toe. And then in that position, you inhale qi through your nose as much as possible, 自己. So you inhale, so deep breathing, 7 breaths. This gets rid of fluid retention, or some kind of retention. B, 逆qi, the reverse qi, and reverse qi. B, 逆qi. So, okay, so we bear that in mind, what Michael and Crystal just described, this kind of reverse the qi, supposed to go down, but then going up. So why then this exercise is going to help with that? Oh, let me bring. We try. Should we try? I mean, you never know. You never know until you do it. So right heel. Sorry, left heel on the right toes.
The left heel on the right toe.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay. Left heel. Well, at least you're lying down, so that's quite nice, isn't it? How many breaths? 7. I thought it's quite interesting because somehow it's after 7 breaths, I'm beginning to almost like felt being in a very deep kind of rest space. It's very restful, and the breathing, obviously, because it's deep breathing, and it feel almost like a circular because somehow your feet join together. Your body itself form this kind of circular rather than the chi goes out, like chi goes down and go out from the kidney point one. No, it didn't do that. It's kind of like somehow it just gets there, yeah. So you meet with the heels and the toe, and then somehow it just sort of stay in there. And so as then it creates its own sort of harmony inside the body. That's just, I don't know, it feels really, really calming. It has got that kind of calming feel to me. That's just my experience. Did you feel that, Pascal?
I felt a little bit, as you say, but I was trying to see where I get some tension in my inner left thigh.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was also reflecting it. For me, it's more on the liver channel.
Right.
We just talk about the stomach and the lung and the kidney. And so I was more thinking about what's the meaning of
Or the others. What happened to the other
maybe
organs?
that's why but I think the idea of the circular is really
It's
nice.
that somehow it just sort of occurred to me after the 7 breaths. I could actually stay in that position for a lot longer. I'd be really happy. I don't feel like pain or anything. Maybe just the way I press it is not like hard onto the toe. And so it's quite restful position. In a way, it's linked. Yeah, it just reminds me of like, the Taoists, they practice with their tongue touching the roof of your mouth.
Yes.
Is to join the defensive chi and the nourishing chi together. So this almost feels a bit like somehow the body's joined up. The chi doesn't go out anywhere. It just coming, and but at the same time, because the feeling is at your toe, isn't it? You feel there's something going down there.
Oh, it's interesting.
So. Yeah. Do you have any experience, any insights, Crystal? This one doesn't feel.
Not particularly, but I think now that you mention it, apparently we can't have screen and talk at the same time. Anyway, it did feel different. So we have done this in the past.
Yes.
And I did find that it had a different feel than when I did it in the past. I think just in general awareness has changed. which is neat. It's a very neat experience to sort of be able to compare and contrast one particular treatment from a different section. But in this particular time, when you had mentioned that you don't really pull so much on your toe, I think that would probably be more beneficial, because I think I was really putting a lot of pressure, and it made my hips feel uncomfortable. And not something I could maintain for very long. So maybe maybe something a bit more subtle, a bit more gentle would be a more appropriate approach.
I think my toe wasn't sort of bent like backwards, it's just somehow it's just resting on the left heel, resting on the right toe. It feels comfortable, and actually so comfortable that after 7 breaths I felt being into this kind of very calm state, and I could just fall asleep quite easily, actually. And then I felt this kind of circular chi moving in my body, rather than sort of intentionally bringing the chi out. It just sort of stay within this circular kind of movement. But yeah, it's but I think the idea is to get rid of the reverse chi, so then it means the chi is still somehow going down, isn't it? Going down towards your toes. So, but it is, I think it's interesting to so the question could be why you use your left heel on the right toes? Can you do it the other way? Would it be the same? Would that feel the same? I don't know. Okay, so, well, I mean, we can practice them and see if anybody got any more insights to that. I mean, it's interesting that this happened again. I can't quite find the previous one where we actually saw it.
It's tucked in really early on in the wind.
Is the wind is in the wind disorder, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember doing it. But not yes, I can see it. Oh, that's interesting, because that one is page 86. You do move to the other foot. So you are then so the first, you hook your right heel onto your left big toe. So that is the opposite one that we just did, which gets rid of Wing Bi. The second one, you hook your left heel onto your right toes, and this gets rid of the Jue Bi. That's interesting, isn't it? Because here is the Jue Bi rather than the reversal, but then Jue has got that kind of reverse connotation, I think. Jue is so there's a footnote, is qi ni, qi reversal, qi moving contrary to its proper course. So jue bi would be a combination of qi reversal and bi impediment. So jue is almost like ni, jue ni. So that's, but it does only when you're doing the left heel onto your right toe. The other one, the right heel pressing against your left toe, is to get rid of Wing Bi. So they're different.
Okay.
Why are they different? That requires us doing a lot more exercise to really feel the subtle differences, I think. So, okay. So that's that one, 86. Yeah, so you can see the rationale why this exercise appear again in this disease disorder, which is to do with reverse qi. Okay, so let's have a look at the next chapter. So there's another different disorder, which is a leg qi, jiao qi disorder.
Well, I
Yes.
have got a patient who has got almost exactly this set of symptoms.
As which
I've
one?
got her case notes with me.
Of what? The chapter 42?
Chapter 42, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, should we read chapter 42
Read it, yeah.
and then you can tell us your patient has, what kind of symptoms your patient has.
Yeah, okay.
So all disorders of leg qi are caused by contracting poisonous wind. Something to do with poisonous wind, the 风毒. Okay. Most people who have this kind of disorder are not aware of it. They could certainly get it without having any other disorder, or they get it after having various illnesses. Its conditions is very mild at the beginning. The person can still eat, drink, play, and have fun, and their strength is the same as it was before. Therefore, it is important to examine the patient carefully. So it's almost like in the beginning, there's nothing really. There's asymptomatic really. So, but then I think it starts to show problems. So the condition can be, okay, numbness between the knees and feet, a sensation of having beat impediments, again, some kind of numbness, or a feeling of insects crawling, huh? Or the patient may feel cold between the toes and calves. Their legs may be bent and weak so that they are unable to walk. So there's a lot of problem with the feet, isn't it? With the legs and the feet, and it's almost like losing circulations and weakness and loss of sensations as well. They may be mild swelling, so fluid retention there, cold and aching pain in the legs. Yeah, again, it feels like, quite common, symptoms that we actually see in people as well, especially older people. Or the legs move slowly and are unable to coordinate. There may be spasms and tightness in the legs. Some can still eat, even if they have restricted movements, but some cannot eat. Some vomit at the sight of food or drink and dislike the smell of food, which is all smelly to them. It's like the taste, the smell obviously somehow has gone. So it's all, smell horrible to them. There may be an object, there may be an object like a finger issuing from the calf, so sort of something sticking out in the area of Chen Jing point. So I don't really know what that point is. It's UB56. Rushing up to the heart, causing an uprising qi. So some have, sorry.
Carry on.
Okay. So some have twisted sinews all over their bodies. Some have high temperatures and headaches or palpitations. It's becoming more and more serious now. Some stay in bed to avoid light. Some have pain in the abdomen and diarrhea, and some speak unintelligibly. That's again, I mean, that's that's like really serious now and nonsensically. Some are forgetful and make mistakes easily. Some have blurred vision, and some have confused and troubled in their spirit. They are all patterns of this disease. If treatment is delayed, the disease will move up to the abdomen. I thought it's already there, but okay. Where there may be swelling, or if the abdomen is not swelling, the chest and the ribs will be full of qi, will be full. Once the qi goes up, it will kill the person. If it is acute, it will kill the person in less than a day. If not, it will kill the person in a day or two, or on the third day. So that's still fatal. As soon as one has this disorder, they need to be treated immediately. This is not like any other common disorder. That's quite scary, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, is there any sort of modern equivalent? So what's your patient's
it's muscular dystrophy.
muscular dystrophy, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Her symptoms match the numbness
Uh-huh.
and the muscle wastage from the knees downwards.
Mm.
And I mean, we've been working on this for about 3 months or so. She's a little bit better, but
Yeah.
what she said initially was that she overheats at night. The
Overeat.
stomach overheats, so her body is hot.
Oh, the
Okay.
body's hot at night.
Well, the body's hot all the time,
Okay, so what?
but,
So
but she's got coldness from the knees downwards
yeah.
and heat everywhere else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And
And
particularly during the night.
no, she just notices mostly the that she couldn't sleep
Ah, because she's too
because she
hot.
would she would be too hot,
Yes, but
but
then the
she would be
feet.
hot all the time. But she had where are we? The feeling of insects crawling in her lower legs.
Hmm. Yeah, so the legs being cold and or losing the sensations, that's like definitely like lack of circulation, isn't it?
Well, muscular wastage would be spleen chi deficiency,
Okay.
right? Weakness in the tendons would be involvement of the liver and gallbladder, but I
Okay.
think it's underlying kidney yang deficiency
Right. Right.
because the
Right.
tongue presentation
Mhm.
is red, but it's got teeth marks and it's swollen. The teeth
Aha, to
marks and
swollen.
swollen are going to
Mhm.
be spleen deficiency.
Spleen
And I
deficient.
think any wastage,
Hmm.
because the
Hmm.
spleen's related to the muscle tissue. One
Aha,
of the things
okay.
that the spleen does is it generates muscle tissue.
Hmm.
That's one of its jobs.
Right.
And so you see the swollen tongue with teeth marks, and basically that's the core of what I'm treating.
Uh-huh.
But
So
then
it's the
we come to
deficient weakness in the
yeah.
spleen.
But then you see, she's only what 28, and she used to be an athlete,
Wow.
and this happened when she was about 13, just suddenly started. I haven't really got the full sort of picture from her. You
That's
see,
interesting because you
yeah,
kind of thought that it would be like much el older people who
yeah,
would
yeah,
have this kind of problem, isn't it?
yeah,
How
yeah.
could that be a younger person? It feels it's something else going on.
Something else is going on.
Something else is going on, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Mm.
But as I said,
Yeah.
at the moment, I've got a working hypothesis. I'm giving her herbs, I'm giving her acupuncture.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
I've sort of put her
When
on the. I put her on an economy package.
yeah. Well,
Um,
we're going to come to the Daoyin exercises in a minute.
yeah.
Maybe you can see if there's something that she
Well, this is what
yeah,
I'm thinking.
yeah. Okay. So let's read a bit more. So when the disease has entered the Zang organs, it exhibits three types of pulses. Although the internal and external signs and symptoms can be similar, the pulses are different. If the patient has a floating big and slow pulse, it is better if they take 2 doses of 续命, literally means continuing life, decoction. Okay, so if wind is dominant, it is better to take the 绝壁 decoction, adding 4两 of atra. Can somebody pronounce this? Atroctalodes. Is it the shu?
Tractalodes.
Atroctalodes.
Tractalodes.
Mm-hmm. Let me just try to find the yeah, shu, yeah. Isn't it that is something that is almost like poison, yeah? You can only have a little bit.
No, it's
No, I think it's Baichu or
that's
Cangzhu.
right. Yes, yes. It's a
It's
common spleen chi deficiency.
Ah, it often used for that, is it?
Yeah.
so it's Baichu or Cangzhu usually.
Okay. It's interesting here because normally, we don't, in this text, it doesn't give decoction, but then for this particular disease, it tells you what decoctions you should take. So if the pulse changes, becoming fast and tight, it is better to take there's another decoction, which is 竹里, is the bamboo juice decoction. If the pulse is feeble and weak, it is better to take 2 or 3 doses of the fengyin wind pulling fengyin decoction. These pulses are mostly owing to deficiency. If the patient has a great deficiency, lacking or short of qi, a supplementary decoction can be taken in between doses. It should be taken according to whether the diseased body is cold or hot. But then in your patient's case, it's both.
Yeah.
If the patient has not yet recovered, change to having the 竹里 decoction. So the 竹里 decoction
Well, that's
is
bamboo juice. That's for phlegm and heat. It stops coughing, it clears the lungs.
Right.
But I'm surprised that they're suggesting giving it on its own.
What, giving
unless it tends, the way it's written tends to suggest, hang on, give me a second.
Okay.
Let's see what comes up. Julie Tang. See if there's, hang on. No, there's no Julie Tang.
竹里
Jesse shared a couple of links in the chat from American Dragon. It's a
Oh yeah, so Jesse has been
yeah, that's where I'm looking as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
Dried bamboo sap. Yeah. Yeah.
Another one. This is the 月碧.
Yeah. Hang on, let's try Fengyin. Yeah. See what happens. No, it doesn't.
Do sweating.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Fengyin Chan. Here we go. Fengyin wind pulling decoction. Yes, wind blowing decoction. For liver wind and heat. Extinguishes and pacifies wind, clears heat, calms the shen. So that's internal wind.
Right.
An internal wind is just, we were talking earlier about heat, constrained heat. If that heat will tend to want to rise, but if it gets out of hand, up it comes, and it causes, that's usually one of the causes of a stroke.
Yes, right.
The term stroke is sudden,
Right.
And the red mist or the liver yang rising,
Yes.
Usually accompanied by heat. But of course, the thing is that as it's rising, it's going to unsettle the shen as well.
Wow. Okay. So basically, you got those different decoctions to that you can use if if you detect a particular type of pulses.
Yeah. With Fengyin Tang, it would be sudden collapse. The person falls to the ground, convulsions, upturned eyeballs, deviation of the mouth, gurgling in the throat, irritability, restless, mental confusion. It's all counterflowing qi.
Yes, that's right. And those were described already in the previous page, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Although, it's funny because, as I said, the interesting thing is that in 40 plus years of practice, I've never seen this before.
This, you mean this particular case,
This particular case, yeah,
of this
where I've got cold lower
feet
extremities and heat in
and
the
the body.
upper half, completely new.
Yeah. Oh,
I
right.
couldn't find any similarity between the different pulse pictures.
Okay, well, let's read a bit more because this is quite long and yeah, I mean obviously it's very detailed. So it's obviously quite a serious illness and I think they're very careful with the kind of diagnosis and what to do. And particularly it tells you to use decoctions, which in this text it doesn't normally gives you that. So it's immediately it wants you draw your attentions to, how you really trying to differentiate the different type of pulses and to therefore use different kind of decoctions. That's already wants to include it in this text. Right, so a floating, big, tight, and fast pulse is the worst pulse of the three. A sinking, thin, and fast pulse is as bad as floating, big, and tight pulse. Okay, so both are bad news. A floating and big pulse indicates that the disease is located on the exterior. A sinking and thin pulse indicates that the disease is located on the interior. And that kind of makes sense. Although there is no difference in treatment, one should be attentive to the development of the disease. Even if the pulse seems fine and the arms and legs of the patient have not completely weakened, within a few days, their qi could rise and they could die. If the patient has such a pulse, the Zhuli decoction should be taken immediately and then once a day. Make sure that the strength of the decoction is maintained consistently and that the patient does not go without the decoction for even half a day. It would be ideal if the patient could purge after taking the Zhuli decoction. This decoction has a lot of bamboo juice and should be taken hot. Sounds quite nice, actually. If it is not hot, it can become stuck in the diaphragm, causing great discomfort to the patient. If the dynamic of the pulse has not changed, despite having taken several doses, and if there is bloatiness, it is better to purge with there's another decoction, which is 大鳖甲, big turtle shell decoction. If the strength of the decoction is insufficient to achieve purgation, so I suppose that the big turtle shell decoction, it is almost to encourage the purgation, is to causing you to either vomit or something like that. Medicinal pills can be taken to encourage purgation. So again, trying to get, encourage you to get, to purge. After purgation, resume the Zhuli decoction. So that's the bamboo decoction, which will hasten the decline of the dynamic of the pulse. It will be good if the patient's breath becomes normal. Okay. So it's very interesting in this particular disease entry that the pulse is not just showing you, okay, so the patient have this particular type of pulse, then it means this and that. It here is immediately it wants to introduce the type of decoctions, to take. So I thought that's quite interesting because it doesn't tell you that with other disease entries. In the Jiangdong, so that's the East River. So that the Jiang, I imagine, is the Changjiang, the Yangtze River, the east, and the Lingnan. So that is in the south. So those two places, those regions, because the soil is poor and degraded, wind and damp qi can easily cause harm to people. When someone first contracts this disease, it usually starts at the bottom. So at the from basically from the feet, and then rise. Hence, the legs become floppy and weak first. Then the poisonous qi, following the channels and the network vessels, gradually enters the zang and fu. The encounters of zang and fu with the deviants causes panting and fullness. So you okay, the fullness, I don't quite understand the fullness refer to what though. I understand the panting is like out of breath, and fullness, the fullness of, is that the bloatedness of the stomach? So no, the fullness of the
it
qi.
could be dampness.
Okay.
That's the only
okay, so the fullness here referred to like almost like swollen. Since the disease starts from the leg, it is called leg qi, and that's the end of description really. So the leg qi just means because the illness starts from there, and then start traveling upwards, and then eventually get to the organs, and then somehow. Yeah, and then it doesn't show it. You don't feel it in the beginning, but then you gradually feel this numbness or sensation on your feet, and then somehow then you start to get worse.
Well, it makes sense because the kidney and spleen channels come out of the ground. So if you're sort of walking around, say barefoot, in a damp climate, then you are susceptible. If your overall sort of state of your qi is not strong enough to keep pathogens out. So I can easily see how that happens.
Somebody's knocking on my door. Right, sorry about that. Okay. So
so that would make sense why the legs would be affected first, I would have thought.
Right, yes. Because of the dampness, the environment, being to the wind and the damp, qi. Yeah. So then I wonder whether that could also be the cause of your patients living in the environment where it's very damp.
Well, we have the Gulf Stream where it's windy, and we have Dartmoor, and it's notable rain.
Yes, same in Wales. Same in Wales. So I think yeah, that's interesting. But I think the description, it feels a lot quite serious, quite but I imagine it's kind of again, it's a chronic thing, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you don't know in the beginning, and then suddenly something starts to go wrong, starting with your legs.
Yeah, but as you said, you would expect it somehow to happen in an older person.
Yeah.
This happened round about Menarche.
Yeah, but then if it's external, that means if that person was exposed in the unfavorable environments, day in, day out, and if that person has got a weak disposition, obviously that's gonna
Yeah, it would have to be a combination of both.
It has a combination of various things, and but this disease entry does suggest something external. It's not like the person is, worries or angry or anything like that. Pascal, do you want to say anything?
I just see on the chat that Jess is proposing an article about the berry.
That's right. So people do say does tend to translate 脚气 as berry. So what is berry?
I just saw the link that Jessie proposed.
Yeah, it's a disease in which the body does not have enough thiamine, vitamin B1. There are two major types of beriberi, wet one and the dry one. So the wet beriberi affects the cardiovascular system, the dry beriberi, and there's another syndrome, the wet Wernicke-Korsakoff affects the nervous system. The nervous system, it still sounds a bit like the description we just have, isn't it?
Yeah, it really matches the description.
It does. Yeah, it's the dry one. It's the dry berry because it's like, sensation, loss of sensation, loss of taste, loss. So it's more like neurological dysfunctions.
Yeah.
Beriberi is rare in the United States. It is because many foods are now also. So I think the modern description of beriberi is like very, very specific. Is the
thiamine deficiency?
Is almost like iron deficiency, isn't it?
No, thiamine.
Thiamine, sorry, thiamine is the vitamin B1. Vitamin B1 deficiency.
Yeah.
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 Drinking too much alcohol, drinking heavy can lead to poor nutrition. Okay. But then I think with the 脚气, this disease entry is not is more to do with environment.
Well, yes, to the dry beriberi is tingling, a loss of sensation, and muscular weakness, which would fall into what?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but in the Chinese, is this idea of 赌气 is something more coming from the external part.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
rather than lacking,
particular
nutrients.
Yeah.
So again, it's different. Slightly similar, but it's a completely different sort of conceptualization, isn't it, of illness. So yeah. But anyway, I think it's let's have a look at the Daoyin exercise. So the Yangshen recipes, the Daoyin method says sit, stretch out both legs. Okay, so first of all, you sit, you think you're going to sit like a Japanese sitting, but then you stretch out both legs. So I think you're going to sit on your bum and then on the ground, and then you just stretch out both legs, and then you just relax your body. Inhale chi and bring it downwards. Okay, you inhale chi, and then do you visualize it to go down?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you bring it downwards. I mean, it's heart. Yeah, making your heart soft and peaceful. Okay, be comfortable and relax. Okay, so just inhale chi, and somehow you're trying to bring the chi down. And I imagine with the exhalation, you can then try to bring the chi down, visualizing it. Then, okay, the next step is bend one of your legs. So your legs at this point are stretched out in front of you. You bend one of them and place your foot under the knee. So I think it's under the knee of the other. Is the other foot. You're placing the foot on under the knee of the other leg that is stretched out, while the other leg is stretched out, toes firmly raised. So again, you feel this sort of the leg that stretch out is being pulled, stretch, and then this leg somehow bend underneath. Then you lean your head backwards, okay, without reaching the mat. Okay, so you probably need to lean as far back as possible, but not lie down. while forcefully, okay, bring both arms forward as your face faces up. So you look up, you bring your arms forward in front of you, you're trying to lean back. And basically one leg is tucked in underneath the other, the other foot is stretched out. I think it's possible. I mean, it does feel slightly challenging. And then spend some time in this position. Okay, once you're, look up and lean back, arms out, one leg bent, one leg stretched. Then you do this, then you come up, imagine you do it backwards and forwards, try 7 times, alternating legs. So then you change legs. Now you bend the other leg, place it underneath the knee of the stretched leg. So this gets rid of pain in the legs, cold in the lumbars and shoulders, cold blood, and wind bee. We have seen this exercise, didn't we? Because if it's wind bee, I'm sure it's probably this exercise has already been shown once. These will gradually lessen day by day. So if you keep practicing this, you will get rid of all these problems. Pains in the legs, cold in the lumbars and shoulders, cold blood and wind bee. I mean, not really completely addressed the diseases that we just read, really. Except you got the pain in your leg, some kind of cold, but cold in your lumbars and shoulders. So that doesn't really quite fit because it's, So yeah, again, I'm not quite sure why this exercise is here, but we can certainly try to do it. Yeah, okay, good. Let's spend a few minutes.
Right.
Again, it's not it's not easy. It is possible, but again, a lot of strain for me on my neck. I mean, to trying to lean back, isn't it? I mean, it's the lower you do, the harder it gets. So if you're trying to lean your head back too much, it's hard to come back up.
Yeah.
And so I think this is a kind of exercise you kind of have to do it more gradually, so the leans a little bit, and then gradually you can go a little bit further back, rather than, I mean, if you read the Chinese, is the head not touching, not arriving, not reaching the mat, but it kind of suggesting almost like just a little bit above the mat, not quite touching it. But that's just like, okay, no, not going to do that. So I think all I did was trying to lean back and look up. And that's already, caused a lot of tension and hard to maintain that position for long. And then come back up again, change foot. Yeah, what's your experience, Pascal?
I have a several problem with the with different interpretation. So I was much more. The first one is Chu Izu Anxi Xia. This one is this one for me. I didn't know if it was something just like that or if I have to put my.
Oh yeah.
I didn't make sense of this part.
Oh.
Yeah, so the anxi xia is yeah, you're absolutely right. So how do you interpret this anxi xia? You somehow place comfortably or securely below the knee.
is
underneath the knee.
Oh,
So
is it something open like that? I think now that you
yeah,
are.
well, that's what I kind of try to
Okay,
do.
yeah,
That's
that
what I
makes
did, and that's the illustration also suggests something like that. Um, although that leg, the left leg, kind of need to flop down a bit more.
Yeah.
Um,
and the second
Yeah,
part
that's
is
what I thought too.
yeah, and the second part is also that this 两手几怒向前 and
yes.
手向下怒换 it seems that it's something dynamic, no? Like something like that.
Yeah, so you do it all at the same time, but you don't need to like yeah, Ji does give you that sort of idea of like almost like do it quite quickly, isn't it? But I think you just somehow stretch your arms and nu is with effort. So you stretch out with effort and you look up also kind of with effort, nu with effort. And then 一时 or at the same time, each of those position you take all at the same time, you bring them all together rather than sequentially. So, so, but yeah, but that I think that still doesn't mean you have to do the whole thing all like very quickly. You just make sure you bring everything all together, and then you start to look up and lean arms forward, lean back. But um,
okay. So you put it all together, then going
like,
down.
yeah, 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 like that, like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's how I thought. But when I
I
did
was more
that is
like
when I did that,
designed.
my feet came off the ground.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because you kind of
Yeah.
that didn't feel very secure, did it? The foot underneath
No.
feels like it wants to like wants to
Yeah.
well, yeah, wants to all sort of lift up the two legs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
So what did you do, Pascal?
I tried different thing of this.
Yeah, because
Lean.
there's another one that you just bend your sort of like that. Okay.
I tried something like that and different thing, but I think I was really off track.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, you never know. You never know because there is an ambiguity of this 安息下because the subject the subject or the object we don't know to place what under the knee.
yeah, but I think the position like that makes sense
It
for
does,
me.
doesn't it? Yeah, I think that's probably the best guess really.
Yeah.
And then yeah, the other one then stretch
Right.
out and then you trying to bring your arms forward and then you look up and you lean back.
Yeah, okay.
But even so, it's not, it's not easy. And you do it coming and going. So you change your leg. So you bend the other leg, the other arm, the other leg stretch out. So you just keep doing that every time you change, you switch
Okay.
after you come up. I was struggling with my breathing. So I think when I do things like this, I tend to hold my breath, especially like this. I think I was holding my breath.
Mm.
Yeah. I can't,
You
can't
cannot
focus on
really
too many
breathe.
things. Yeah, you have to like just hold your breath really and then come up. Yeah. Okay, well, it does suggest that if you do this, all these symptoms will sort of gradually lessen day by day. I think there's probably something you need to do on a regular basis. I think the same with a lot of exercises, really. You can't just expect instant cure. But there is obviously a logic as to why particular exercises are for certain illnesses.
Mm.
So yeah, this is again another quite a strong one. Very similar to the previous one that we have to sort of lift the belly up and down, up and down. This one is yeah, I mean it's different, but again requires efforts.
Mm.
Right, okay. Let's see. Oh, we haven't really got that much time. Should we stop here?
Probably not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Okay, so let's stop here. And because we got we got several actually. Yeah, and they are all to do with this well, weak chi, leg chi.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting. So, okay, anybody want to say anything? Any comments?
Well, my thighs ached.
Your thighs aches. That's
Yeah.
interesting. By just doing that exercise.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. It's interesting
Because
that different people has got different different
I would have thought that somehow I would have felt something in the lower legs.
right,
No.
but it's your thigh.
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Because I mean
I think it was because I was holding them in tension.
maybe because you definitely your legs has to has to almost like tighten when you lean back, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like also it will definitely engage your core muscles here, so everything is all like tight.
Maybe that's what it does then, strengthens the core, strengthens the lower
The
legs.
legs, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely to do with the core muscle because you got to be able to bring yourself up again and you're holding that position. In
Yeah.
order to hold that position, you got to have a strong core muscles
Mm.
and your legs will be tightened as well while holding that position. How would that help with the 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 leg chi, the weak leg chi? I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. I don't
Well,
understand
I
why.
don't know whether we could answer that until we've done all of the exercises, maybe.
Yeah, but then I think, that they should really, in theory, putting all these exercises in the right place, where, under the disease descriptions, isn't it?
Hmm.
It just yeah, I'm just trying to work out why this one here.
Hmm.
Especially if we try and I sort of imagine that you're trying to warm your feet or trying to bring the chi down to your feet
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So that things
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
it didn't quite happen yet. But I mean there are still quite a few exercises. So I'm
Yeah.
sure there may be something else going on there as well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but this one definitely feels like almost like an overall bodily uh, sort of strengthening exercise, which is great in a
Yeah.
way for people who are weak,
Hmm.
not just not just the weakness of the leg. The weakness of legs almost like a symptoms rather than this is obviously by the time you notice it, that is already in your system, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's more internal, really,
Hmm.
the illness.
Yeah.
So probably that's why.
Hmm.
Brilliant. Well, thank you
Hmm.
so much. And so just wanted to say that we got a workshop coming up, and that will be in 3 weeks' time. So we still got another study group session in 2 weeks' time, and then the week after that we have a workshop, and that will be an hour online, and it's free. So yeah, so we'll try to promote that because it's for everyone who is interested in knowing more about medieval Daoyin exercises. And so we can sort of showcase the various exercises that we've been studied and explored together here.
Hmm.
Great. Well, thank you so much. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.
See you in 2 weeks' time.
Bye.
Bye.
Exciting. See you.
Bye.